Okay. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. Welcome back to the Chicago Conservative live stream edition. Today we have Nicole Karen here with us, and she's actually running as a mayor of Chicago as a Republican, guys. So this is very, very exciting for me and you guys as well, because we definitely need, he who shall not be named as of right now to definitely leave that mayor seat, guys, because obviously everyone knows that Brandon Johnson is definitely not right. Well, any of these left wing, liberal mayors, these progressive mayors, guys, they just absolutely have to go. So I'm not gonna really talk. I really want to hear what Miss Karen has to say here. So tell us about yourself, Miss Karen, and tell the people who are you and what made you decide to run for mayor.
So seeing so being being married to a military member and having to live in Texas because I was born here, I grew up here, and then seeing what it was like in a Republican state,
Mm-hmm.
and then coming back and seeing what Brandon Johnson has done, it just totally opened the eyes to how bad it's gone, especially since I was little. It just totally a lot of corruption, and my kids go to a Chicago public school.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear about the debt and the deficit, and then them letting go of teachers and them going, well, we need to be bailed out, it just is a constant revolving door of issues that need to be solved. And the
Absolutely.
the Democrats don't want to work with the Republicans, and it's just back and forth, and we need to find middle ground. And there
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been a Republican mayor since the 1930s.
Yeah, since the 1930s. That's a very, very long time. And
And there needs to be some balance in the government.
yeah, absolutely. If anybody's been sleeping under a rock, I mean, everyone should know that there is some type of secret fourth branch of government that's going on, that's doing all of the secret stuff when it comes to our intelligence and things like that. I won't really get into detail, but yeah, how I see it is that the Democrats, they can't really do their job as far as keeping crime down, keeping taxes down, especially in Chicago and things like that. And when you look at not just Chicago as well, but all of these inner cities like New York, you have St. Louis, Baltimore, you have New York, you have Los Angeles, the usual. And they all tend to be ran by Democrats. So, what do you think is really the message here that the Democrats give to the American people about their policies?
Well, crime is high. It's and this safety act that Governor Pritzker signed in is awful. And then Biden slipped on the border. I mean, he did that intentionally. It is just across the board. And then the guy who's running in New York is
Yeah.
hopefully he doesn't win. We cannot.
You talking about Zoran Mandami? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a for sure communist.
So we have to. Chicago is so great and was that we need to kind of put our foot forward and be the first to go, you know what, we need a change. We need to bring everybody together, Republican, Democrat, black, white, whatever it is, cut out all that negativity, come together and make Chicago what it can be and what it used to be and make it amazing, because
Absolutely.
the police are amazing here, the firefighters, the people here. And you know, since I just came back, I kind of got lost, and
Hmm.
I ended up in not such a good area, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's so much garbage all around. There's
Yeah,
needles." I was like, "Look at these giant potholes."
yeah. The
Um
alderman, the alderman does not do a good job when it comes to keeping their neighborhoods and their wards clean. It's very, very disgusting. And I like how you brought up the fact that we have to put our, well, I wouldn't just say government workers, but the workers that are protecting the citizens, like the firefighters and the police officers. We need these people to be out there, and they definitely have to be compensated well because, I mean, if let's just be honest, this is kind of the problem in Chicago. They want to do police reform and they want to defund the police and all of this nonsense. And we've seen where this goes when we defund the police. Crime just skyrockets. You see Lori Lightfoot in her administration. You see Brandon Johnson in his administration. And even I will even go to say Rob Emanuel. Like, these people know what the problem is. And I believe we talked about this a little earlier, that the number one problem in Chicago, I believe 67% of Chicago believes that crime is the number one problem. So that actually leads to my next question here. So how would you tackle crime in Chicago? How would we fix that?
So I know people are going to be like, this is such a stupid idea, but we are losing police more than we're gaining. And pensions are a problem. So we're going to keep pensions. So pensions for police and fire, we're going to keep. But in order to get police in quicker, I want to do, we have so many empty buildings here that we could use them for training and like police boot camp kind of, to
Mm-hmm.
kind of get them through, learn the books, learn the training, have all this proper training, because not everybody can pay for school. I know that I didn't want to take out a loan. I couldn't afford $100,000. And then
Right.
you don't even get a job right out of college. So I want to make sure I start an application process to get all the people, it doesn't matter what your background is, get them into the training process and try and push them out and
Mm-hmm.
get them into the communities to police and help, because that is what we are short on. Um, and then the ones who go through the boot camp, I don't think they would get pensions, but the ones going through college would. I'm still trying to work that out and think about that. Um, I know that is a very iffy subject,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously, if you're paying for college, that's a lot more money. But you know, I have so many ideas and so many positive things, like the homeless problem. We have so many empty buildings, and the
Mm-hmm.
property taxes are so high. It's just the city has slipped so bad. I mean, people are paying like $2,700 in rent just to rent.
Right.
So, I mean, the crime rate needs to go down. So,
Okay, so if I'm hearing this correctly, you would say pensions for police officers, correct? And that all of the empty buildings that are in Chicago, that you would basically open them back up, try to, refurbish them and whatnot, do some training in those buildings and stuff like that. Basically try to make policing great again in Chicago. Make law enforcement great again in Chicago. Okay, so that's pretty good. I mean, because I mean, me personally, a lot of people don't really understand that, well, in the black community, I'm going to say in the black community, that police are, majority of these people are good people. They just treat it as a job. They just want to go home, go back to their wife, go back to their kids. Like, they're just doing it as a job, man. It's not really anything personal. I don't know if you've seen the story lately. I believe this happened in Florida. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was this gentleman who got attacked by some officers. I believe they bust his window and things like that, and they really just wanted him to step out of the vehicle and things like that. So in the black community, they don't really know how to respect authority from police officers, and that's a huge problem. And when it comes to things like that, that is what I want to hear when it comes to mayor candidates who wants to run for mayor of Chicago. They have to get to those touchy subjects that they're scared that might offend other groups or ethnic groups or stuff like that, if that makes sense. Because I mean, me telling you as a black man born and raised from Chicago, Illinois, Inglewood, Chicago. I'm talking South Side. Like it's pretty bad. So I know where the crime is. Like we know, everybody knows where the crime is. They put it on YouTube. They put it on social media. We need people who are going to be competent enough to take this into consideration and say, okay, they want to post this here. They want to post it. We need somebody to at least say we might need martial law. You know, we need a mayor that actually cares about the city. And the way that you show that you care is that you protect citizens and make sure you keep them safe.
Well, we also need the police and people in the communities where those police are serving to meet. So, like community events, like the summers here are beautiful. You have Rib Fest, you have the Puerto Rican Fest. There's no reason that there aren't places in these communities where the police in those communities and people who live there can't meet and somebody go, you know what? I respect you. And the officers say, you know what? I'm not a bad person. I like this neighborhood. Let's make it better together.
Yeah, and then when it comes to, because we are, I believe, in like a $1.2 billion deficit in Chicago right now. So I mean, if you do become mayor, you're going to be taking on quite a bit of a challenge, but that's okay because we know that Brandon Johnson spent over $575 million on illegal migrants alone, just to begin with. And when you think about that, and that actually leads to my next question. We're going to get to that in 2 seconds, but I think we got a super chat here. We got USA United will never be defeated. We need an adult. We need tough love. We need accountability, not establishment. That's absolutely right. Absolutely. And this is what the people want. Like, we need a stern leader that's going to actually keep their foot in the criminals' asses, if I'm being honest with you. And that goes for the aldermen as well, because they're very, very corrupt there. But Brandon Johnson promised that he would lower taxes and things like that. He won't raise property taxes and he won't increase this. And he will basically, he lied because taxes are off the charts. And I actually got my guy Mason. He actually spoke at City Hall and confronted Brandon Johnson about this face to face as well, when he said that there's a tax on everything, grocery tax, you name it, it's taxed in Chicago. So
You have to pay for plastic bags.
yeah, it's insane. I'm surprised he didn't tax the air yet. But how would you tackle taxes in Chicago? And um when it comes to the deficit in Chicago, what do you think we could do to get back in a, you know, in a good financial state, I should say.
So I know the teachers union is in Brandon Johnson's pocket, and I
Which is
know
a conflict of interest, by the way. Just want to point that out.
yes, and it would be the teachers union that would be something that I would have to go for, because the schools definitely need to be looked at, because they are something that is in the red. I mean, $734 million.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously we have to do something about the sanctuary city thing. We got to figure out a way to get out of that. And we need to work with President Trump. I know not a lot of people in Illinois want to hear that, but it is the truth. He is the
Surprisingly, they do though. Like, and that's why that's why this stuff is kind of popular right now, because they believe that Chicago is supposed to be this, horrible place, and people don't really respect police and they don't respect peace and things like that. But that's actually not true. We're actually ready to take our city back from all of this, crazy propaganda that's coming from these leftists. I see a question here from one of my viewers here, and it says, I appreciate this interview. What advice would you give voters on how to distinguish a rhino from an authentic conservative? What do you think about that?
from a true rhino. I would ask them, are you going to spend millions on illegals? Are you going to spend money on useless crap? I don't think the police are useless. I
I'll look
don't.
out for the LGBT stuff as well.
The what?
the LGBT stuff. You got to watch out for that stuff too.
Yes, the LGBTQ stuff. Like, I know one of the things that the teachers union in my kids' school, they have CNN in science class, and they have
Wow.
trans bathrooms there, which means that probably costs money. And there are just things all around the city that are a waste of money, but there are things that can be used for that, like all the trash, all the potholes. You can't fill the potholes because the money's going to something else. So you
Right.
need to figure out how to reallocate that money elsewhere. And
Well, he just signed. Well, they just did a $830 million, I believe, bond. So that's supposed to be going to infrastructure, but we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. But
he's trying to screw everybody who's going to come in after him, whether it's the
right,
mayor.
exactly, right, yeah, yeah, kind of sucks, but that is true. So I want to actually ask you about a question. Well, excuse me, about a topic that's definitely been controversial for probably 2 years. Um, so how do you feel about the illegal migrants? Basically taking over Chicago, getting free health care, getting free food stamps, and basically just getting all of the things that could be going to our veterans, our citizens here in Chicago, the people that teach, like our teachers. So why first answer me this first. Why do you think that Brandon Johnson prioritized illegal migrants over the citizens of Chicago
Votes.
for votes?
He blames Abbott for shipping the migrants here, thinking that they would help votes instead of just saying, no, you take them back. And Abbott's
Right.
like, no. And then they were like, well, we could maybe use them in the voting area, but that didn't work.
Well,
And
but a lot of people don't know that 27 out of 50 states here in the country don't require a photo ID to vote.
mhm,
And one of those states definitely is Illinois. So, I mean, possibly that could have worked in his favor, but I don't really see it happening like that. But how do you feel about these illegal migrants basically getting
I,
everything?
you know what? I am not a fan of it. It needs to stop. It just needs to stop. It doesn't matter if you're Hispanic or if you're from another background. It just doesn't. My grandmother, both my grandparents came
Mhm.
here from another country, but they did it the right way. But they came here, learned the language, worked hard, and got to that point, and they didn't have anything like that. So everybody is tired of it, and they need to we need to do something about it. We need to get rid of the sanctuary city thing, and we need to cut it off.
Okay, so you say you'll get rid of the sanctuary city law, right? So how would you go about that? What would be your steps? Would you contact the attorney general?
It would obviously it would have to be a I would love to just go, you know what? It's done and over with.
Mm.
Like any woman in a house. You know what? Everybody's cleaning the house.
Well, believe it or not, Brandon Johnson can end the sanctuary law whenever he wants.
Well,
But
then that's what I
yeah,
would do.
okay. Yeah, and there are these stories going around saying that you have these masked ice pro at mice, all of these crazy, leftist rhetoric, it's garbage. But these people have to protect their identities, by the way. I just want to throw that out there because these people could be found and potentially, be followed home, and it's just not safe. So
I have a family member who feels that same way, who I disagree with greatly, and that's not it at all. They are protecting their identity. They don't want their families being doxxed. They don't want their families being attacked. I mean,
mm,
it's the same reason we tell our military spouses, you cannot say your husband or your wife or your kids are on their way to, you know, Poland right now to help Ukraine. You don't it's something that you don't do, so you have to
right.
you
You
keep
gotta, you
secret.
gotta, yeah, you gotta make sure your own house is good first before your neighbor's house is good. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. But
Well, you have to
I
ask
actually
you have to ask these same people. Do you want to find your wife, daughter, son, family member in an illegal's backyard in a garbage can full of bleach like a mother just did the other day?
sad, man. I can't believe that. Where did this happen?
This happened here in Chicago. ICE just caught him.
That's sad, man. And Brandon Johnson protects these people with his life. This is
He
crazy.
was let go on cash bail because of the Safety Act, and the only reason he's off the streets right now is because of ICE.
Yeah, I honestly think you should go to City Hall and speak about that and let him know what these illegal migrants are doing to his citizens here that he's supposed to be showing his great leadership to. But I mean, he doesn't give a shit. Let's just be honest. This dude doesn't care how many citizens die, get assaulted, get raped, basically everything under the sun that these illegal immigrants do. But we're
I
just gonna
think it,
move the go. Yeah, we're
I
gonna
think
move the goalpost. Sorry about that.
I think anybody who loves their children should appreciate the police and ICE and any other first responder or anybody who works for the country because they do
Mhm.
protect us and they try their best. And you know what? I'm proud to be an American and I am proud of Chicago police because they try hard and sometimes it just isn't enough and we need to back them.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna ask another question that a lot of people would definitely want to know. So, how would you take on the teen? Well, how would you go about the teens who commit crimes in Chicago? Because a lot of people know that the teens in Chicago, they're, I guess, looked at upon as misunderstood by the mayor Brandon Johnson, which is honestly one of the most dumbest things I've ever freaking heard. They're not misunderstood. They're being well, they're basically just pedestalizing crime and degeneracy, right? Um oh, we got another super chat from USA United will never be defeated, guys. Deport full stop. Chicagoans first. Okay. Yeah, might be a typo, but it's all good, guys. But yeah, so a lot of people know that these kids, they're walking around with guns. They're not going to school. They're basically just not being good citizens in society. We're just going to keep it like that. And it's honestly getting pretty bad. You got teen takeovers. You got the streets. You got downtown. It's just too much crime going on, and the parents are not holding their children accountable to their actions. And then I believe the law enforcement officers aren't holding the parents or the kids accountable. They're just letting them do whatever. And then the kids know that they're minors. So whatever they do, they're just gonna, get off or just get a smack on the wrist or things like that. So when it comes down to the crime with the teenagers, especially in the areas like downtown up north and things like that, how would you go about tackling the crime from the teens?
So, my husband works with a police officer, and he says that police don't really tackle stuff because they're scared to get fired, lose their pensions, something bad happening to them. And I think we need to start with that so we can give them a little more leeway to work their magic with that.
Mhm.
Because those teen flash mob kind of things, it needs to stop because we need to bring businesses back to downtown because the tourist business is down here.
For
And
sure, yeah.
the stores are leaving, nobody's coming. When I,
McDonald's is leaving. Yep.
when I was in Texas, people were like, how the hell did you get out of there? And I was like, it's okay.
Alive. Right. How did you get out alive?
I'm like, Chicago isn't that bad. The food's good. I come back and all the stores are closed. So, we need to bring the tourists back to make money, to bring property taxes down, to have fun again. I mean, it's just gone so bad. So we need to get, and any time that you do, when a cop does arrest a teen or give them a ticket, bring them home to their parents and go, listen, you're going to get a ticket and you need to show up to court. And if you don't show up to court, you're going to get arrested.
Absolutely. I always say hold the parents accountable, please, because the parents are the ones that are letting their kids just do willy nilly out here,
They
and it's
they
just getting bad, man. And the kids are just killing people now. Like it's tough, and the things that they're exposed to, I feel like is another manipulation tactic when it comes to what makes them do the things that they do as well, like the music, the things that they watch on YouTube, like the streamers, the just
influencers.
the culture in general is just really really bad. And Chicago got this terrible stigma that we just have to be the murder capital every freaking year, like that's cool, and we need to change that. We definitely do.
Well, the thing, so Texas, when I lived there, if your kids missed more than 10 days, you had to go to court and explain yourself. So there's no reason that that can't be done here. Your kid does something wrong, you're in trouble.
Mhm.
Somebody has to face the consequences. If your kid can't serve time, maybe you should, because you need to get your shit under control, your stuff under
No,
control.
you're fine. Trust me, you're good. So, we
Brandon Johnson will put that up on his ad going, you don't want a mayor who says the S word. So,
please trust me. He got other stuff that he needs to be worried about. Trust me. But um, so speaking of Brandon Johnson, I believe he just let go over 1,000 plus teachers and assistants here in Chicago. So a lot of people are saying, JB Pritzker and Brandon Johnson basically took all the money, gave it to the illegals, and now, teachers doesn't have a job, which kind of makes sense because I mean, if you can't pay me personally, I think the whole CTU Board of Education, whatever you want to call it, should just be eradicated in general. But still, teachers still need to do their jobs, and that's teaching. If we don't have teachers, kids can't learn. Me personally, I feel like it's always going to be on the parent for the kid to learn the most, as far as what they want them to know. But if the teachers are willing to take time out of their day to teach your kid, the least you can do is pay them handsomely because inner city kids in these public schools, they're not the best. They're very difficult to deal with. So, how would you tackle the CTU and the Board of Education here in Chicago, Illinois?
so we need to do something about the CTU and the pensions, because the pensions are killing us. It is just it's just a load of crap from since the time I went to public school. It's a pyramid
Pyramid
scheme.
scheme, yeah, for sure.
You get the money from Washington, D.C., somebody takes it. It comes down to Illinois, somebody takes it. It comes down to Chicago, somebody takes it. And then no kids get books, right? Which is how we
Mhm.
ended up with tablets. And
Yeah, or
now,
you have to share a book. Well, that's what I
and
used to do.
and now, they give you homework on the computer. How many people have computers at home? I know that people think only rich people can run for mayor. I don't have shit. So,
Mhm.
um, I got notified that, oh, your kid has homework online. And I'm like, I don't have a computer. Why don't you send home paper? And they're like, so,
Right.
you know, they're not getting funding because the money is going to the CTU to pay off aldermans or pay off whoever. It needs to stop.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
the pensions are part of driving up the property tax, and the property tax is driving up rent, and it is a vicious circle, and it needs to stop.
For sure. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Kids haven't been learning for a very, very long time. And I gotta point out the black community again as well. We're the lowest in reading proficiency, math proficiency, writing proficiency. They're trying to take out cursive. They're trying to prioritize LGBT bull BS. Not gonna curse because I want to respect you, but you know, there it's just a potluck of platitude things. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it like at that. And we need someone who's gonna tackle mathematics, science, and me personally, I would even say trade. You know, a lot of people aren't gonna go to college. A lot of people aren't gonna, go to Yale or whatever the hell. Is some people just want to live regular lives. Some people just want to work when they get out of high school, and a lot of people I feel like are pressured to go to college. And me personally, college, in my opinion, nowadays, I think it's a scam. But only reason why I believe it's a scam is because when you go to college, I believe you come out more indoctrinated and not really more intelligent than when you came into college. If that makes sense, they're just really teaching you a bunch of basically nothing. um, I've heard that when it comes to these sociology classes and things like that, it's basically just all feeling based and things like that. If you're studying like a STEM, that's good. But if it's not STEM, then I'm not really sure what you're doing there. I'm gonna be honest. Well, education as well. I can't throw that out. But if you're not there for, or well, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things you can go there for. But they're just going
And
to college for the most useless things, and they're just wasting a lot
yeah,
of college debt.
yes. I want to bring back O'Kane trade schools. I want to bring back home ec. You know, I want to bring back, shop, to high school, and just all that stuff that people look at and go, man, that's probably really crappy. Because I know in high school, I never said, man, I'd like to do electrician work. And knowing now what I would have liked to learn then is, wow, electricians make a lot of money. They don't really have to go to school. It's a trade. And some electricians make like over $100,000 a year.
Plumbers, electricians, them people make bread, guys. Trust me, them
Yeah.
people are good.
Auto mechanics. I have a mechanic guy that lives not too far from here. He has a shop. He can't find anybody who's
Right.
certified.
Yeah.
This
That's
is stuff.
Yep. And then my thing is this as well, and this just ties back to the well, even the teenagers as well. We got to get teenagers basically connected back to activities again. When it comes to the things that they're doing now, what are they doing? They're sitting in front of a TV, they're on their phones, they're playing with guns, smoking weed, popping pills. And this is stuff that I would never imagine like what happened in freshman. Like that's just crazy what these people are allowing their kids to do nowadays. It's absolutely insane. And then this just ties back to the next question that I have. Um, in regards to gun laws. So, as you know, JB Prisker, he basically sucks when it comes to Illinois and the gun laws, and it's a hassle for a person with a concealed carry and a FOID card to walk around with a gun. But when a criminal gets caught with a gun, they just take the gun, give the person like a couple days in jail, and they get right back out. So, I'm a 2A activist. I believe in my Second Amendment right for sure. I will shoot you if I feel threatened. I'm just letting people know that now. So it's like you have to defend yourself in a city like Chicago. That's one of the most dangerous cities in the country. And you would think that these governors and mayors would allow citizens to carry their firearms, more comfortably rather than a criminal carrying a firearm more comfortably. I'm not gonna name no names, but like I'll be seeing these dudes all over the place. I know these people ain't got no concealed and carries. I know they ain't got no FOID card. So it's like,
You don't want to be judgmental and you don't want to jump to conclusions because you're not supposed to assume people's gender. Ha ha ha. I mean,
Right, right,
plug
right.
at
Now
him.
we can't do that, guys. I forgot we can't do that.
But
Right.
But, I definitely support the Second Amendment, and I don't think you should be jumping through all these hoops when criminals shouldn't have to. It is the Second Amendment, and the founding fathers, I mean, they wrote that thing and to a T, and it is perfect. So, I think you should be able to own a gun and
Mm,
defend your property and you not go to jail. Should you be able to ride in a car and do a mass shooting? Of course not. But if you're in your home and you're defending your car, your property, your family, yeah, you should be okay.
for sure.
This whole, oh, you're a criminal? Oh, we're going to take you to jail and let you out. No, they have taken everything away from the police. 72-hour holds for crazy people. I mean,
Mm.
everything. And I mean, we need to make mental health great again. That
And
is,
it's not. It's even worse if they're illegal migrants because when they get arrested, you can't even get a name out of these damn people. You're not even gonna get a English from these people. They're gonna say, my name's Javier, and no habla inglés, and like you're gonna have to get a translator. But they're even gonna play stupid with them.
mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a lot of hoops that we have to jump through when it comes to me personally. Crime is the number one thing here in Chicago. That gets rid of the tourist money. That gets rid of all of the businesses like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, all of these good top tier businesses and restaurants and things like that. They're leaving Chicago because it's just too much crime and it's too much poverty and too many homeless people just basically roaming around. And that was the next. And I think I have this, and then I have one more question after this one. So, homelessness is a very, 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 very bad problem in Chicago. So, I want to ask you, how would you go about homelessness? And do you think that it's possible if we can create more jobs for the homeless to work, as far as like getting them into programs, as far as just like if there is like an infrastructure job, they can work that, like pick up some trash around the city or something like that. But
Well, not just
typically
not just the trash, but I've actually been working on ideas in general. There's a lot of homeless vets on the street, men, women, black, white, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. I want to bring in tunnel for towers, um,
Mhm.
because they're skilled. Military are skilled in everything. So once the homeless get skilled and redone, they get their certification, they could build their own places or redo the hotels that were used by migrants and set it up. They would have somewhere to stay and
For sure, yeah, that's a
they
good
won't
point.
be homeless anymore. And then they could go redo the buildings that are condemned all around. And then they could train other people who are not military and show them, this is how you fix the plumbing here. This is how we do drywall. Come, and then that's a job. And it's just a constant revolving door of help.
Right, yeah, that
And the
makes
same thing with picking up trash. I know it sounds like a pretty thought, but I think if I get a good staff and I get enough positive people, we can make everything happen, because I have been writing it down and I'm like, okay, homeless, mental illness, we need more police. Um, it's just a circle that needs to be broken. And then we need to be brought together as a community. And it sounds so corny, but my husband's like, you kind of make sense. And I'm like, people are going to think I'm stupid. So,
No, it's actually not. I actually think it's always a good plan to brainstorm and write down your ideas before you act on them. But that actually leads me to my last question, and I'll see if you have any questions for me, or if you want to see if you see a chat that you want to point out or anything like that. But The last question that I want to ask you is, if you become mayor, or if you're elected as mayor of Chicago, as the first Republican mayor of Chicago since 1930, which would definitely be history. What's the first thing that you would do as mayor?
Well, I would probably pass out from joy. Um,
Right, yeah.
but I would probably get rid of the sanctuary city
Yeah,
thing.
for
Um,
sure.
you know, the benefits in the sanctuary city, and probably pass something in that. And then probably call JB Pritzker and go, you have to work with me now. We have
Yeah.
to work together, and you have to deal with my policies, and we need to get together and do something positive for this city and this state for the first time in years.
Yeah, that's the answer I actually was looking for. You got an A+ for me, because I'm like, if she don't say she getting rid of the sanctuary law for these illegal migrants, I don't know, guys. But she passed the test, guys, because um someone say they would lower taxes. I mean, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to lower taxes? But the thing is,
Lowering taxes is going to take time. That's going to take me doing the teachers union, getting
I'll
everything
get rid of
together.
that for
Yeah,
sure. I'll
and
get rid of
that's
that.
going to take a strong team, and I that's going to take help from multiple communities and everybody. And even though I have my little notepad with my grocery list on it, but um
Don't forget
I
the eggs.
I make lists for everything. It's my husband makes fun of me. But it's going to take it's not a long time. It's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of strong people to come together. And that's why I wanted to go to that police event. But of course, there was no parking. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
I really wanted to talk to the 16th district and be like, hey, listen, guys, I want to run, and I'm going to need backup, and this is what I want to do. How do you guys feel about possibly getting some more police officers?
for sure.
But I wasn't able to do that, but it's okay. It's okay. The next time, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's all. We trust me, we got plenty of time, man, before the midterms. But yeah, we'll definitely yeah,
well,
we're gonna get
let's
to.
face it. We don't want, somebody for the first time who's running for Republican to get the Epstein treatment here in Chicago, right? So,
Yeah, for sure, because that's very controversial right now, man. For sure. But all right, guys. Well, that's Nicole Karen for you guys. She's running as the mayor of Chicago as a Republican. Um, I definitely am looking forward to this, guys. You guys know we're gonna definitely follow this story. But is there any last things that you want to say? Anything you want to ask me or the chat, or
you know
because
what?
well, let me ask this question, because I see in the chat that they're saying that that you probably need to be more of a boss. I don't know what that means.
God,
So what do you say to what do you
they've
say to the people who think you're not aggressive enough?
they've never heard me yell at my husband. Um, I used to be a small business owner of a cleaning company, and I can actually be very aggressive when I need to be. You just so happen to be being nice to me.
This is her first impression, guys. So you know how it is when you get the first
Um,
impression.
I'm looking forward to looking at Brandon Johnson and going, if those are Chicago cufflinks from Coach, you need to leave them here because they don't belong to you.
You know,
You
that's from
don't,
that gift room, guys. That quote unquote
yep,
gift room, aka crime room. But
yes.
yeah, guys. If you got someone asked where can we contact you to help you. I mean, you can just email me. My email is in my bio. If you guys want to check that, and just email me for sure, because I always respond to emails. I get a lot, not a lot of them, but I get a few a day. So yeah, a lot of people are saying good luck. Hope you do it. And yeah, guys, that is Nicole Karen, guys. So is there anything that you want to ask me or the chat?
So I'm obviously going to need help with this. I don't think I'm well known here. I'm not well known in general. I I'm going to need a lot of help. Um, I needed so you learn as you go. I learned before when I did my business. I need to learn now. Um, I know that politics is dirty, and we all know how it goes. So
Right.
I need to meet people and know where to go. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, which I call it TikTokity, because my daughter likes it.
Right.
And then I think I'm on Instagram.
Oh, okay. They were asking for your contact information. Sorry about that. Yep, you're right. So yeah, do you have an email or something that they could contact you?
I do. This is so ridiculous. I've had this email since I was like 15. It is knickknack14421 at AOL.com.
Oh wow. So knickknack 421 or 421?
14421 at AOL.com.
Okay. At AOL. I ain't heard AOL in so long. Oh my gosh. Yo. But all right, guys, that's our contact. Shout out to the Uptown, Michelle. And yeah, we're gonna get some boots on the ground for sure. Yep, liberty and justice. But yeah, yeah, guys, that's Nicole. And I'm excited, guys. Hopefully, I see her in some press conferences and things like that, guys. So,
Oh
and
my
you're all,
God.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're talking to the real deal right now. I've been on Fox News many times with Laura Ingraham, and if this is something that you seriously want to do, I'll definitely put the word out. And I go to City Hall and I speak. I think you should go up there and give Brandon Johnson a piece of your mind as well. A lot of people would definitely tune into that.
I
Um,
want to meet your friend Danielle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I actually tried to get her on this conversation today, but
She's busy. I saw
busy,
something
yeah.
on Facebook with her because I track of stuff, and I know it's silly, but she is really awesome. And I know the Chicago Teachers Union is protesting, I think, downtown. And I kind of
Mhm.
want to go to that. I just want to
Yeah, we can definitely we can set up anything for sure.
I
Just
want
reach
to go
out.
to that. They're talking about, you only need to tax the rich. The rich can pay for our $734 million deficit.
Right, right. What you mean tax the rich? There are barely any people here. Like, come on, man.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
I just want to tell them, how many rich people do you think live in Illinois or
A
Chicago in
lot.
general?
Right. I often say they not in Chicago.
No.
They're probably visiting, but they don't live here.
So, yeah, I don't have a campaign or really anything. Like, I know when I went to the Northside GOP thing, they're like, well, the election is so far away. We don't know who we're going to endorse or who's running. So, I don't think they believe in me at all. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Man.
it
Try
was
to prove
so
them
it
wrong.
was
I think you can do it. I think you can do it.
it was so nice that you were able to do this for me. I really appreciate it.
No, for sure. Then you're welcome on the panels. You know, I have panel discussions. The chat know I have panel discussions all the time. So, guys, you guys are probably going to be seeing her on the panels as well because she's definitely a bright woman, and we definitely need more smart people that's going to contribute to the problem here in Chicago. You know,
Yep.
tax the rich.
And
The rich charge the right. Exactly.
I can't see the comments on my area on my side.
Oh wow. Okay. Man, I wish I could have popped up. But yeah, guys, we're gonna definitely be seeing a lot more of Nicole Karen here. She's definitely seemed like a nice, sweet lady, very bright, very intelligent. Very, yeah, guys. I just think she got what it takes. We just gotta, just get her out there, just get out her policies and things like that. And we're gonna definitely give Brandon Johnson a run for his money. And well, hopefully she's one of, I would say, at least 3 candidates that's running for a mayor that's a Republican in Chicago, guys.
Well, and you know what? If you do want to let Laura Ingraham, Jesse Waters, oh my God,
Mm.
any of them, tell them about me, that is totally cool because then I would reach other people who may not know about you, and that would be
Okay.
amazing.
Okay,
I
great. They say please get trans dudes out of women's shelters.
and listen, I am so broke that I don't even have cable, so I watched that on YouTube, which is usually an hour behind. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, but that's the end of the podcast, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you guys want more videos like this. I'm actually going to be doing a reaction video to Stephen Colbert, guys. So
Oh my
I
God,
think,
was that not hysterical? I was like,
yeah.
oh, he got canceled.
So yeah, I'm gonna be reacting to that, and I think Jon Stewart went nuclear, guys. I
Yeah,
don't know
he was
what the
just
hell went up with him.
swearing.
Yeah, I heard. So yeah, I'm gonna react to that and put that video out as well, guys. But yep, guys, that is Nicole Karen. So please hit her up. I think she gave her email. Is it Knick-Knack Paddywhack or just Knick-Knack?
It's just knick-knack. So it's knick-knack
Okay, Knick-Knack 1442 at AOL.
14421 at
Oh,
AOL.
14421. Okay, at AOL. Okay.
I was young, stupid. I didn't know I was going to have the email my entire life. So
Yeah, and oh wow, man, Hulk Hogan did pass away. That sucks.
it was so sad.
Yeah, but all right, guys, we will see you guys soon. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Tune in next time. I'll see you guys later. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yes, sir.